Hello everyone, and welcome back to Mudlick Creek Garage. In this video, we're going to get this little Honda EX1000 running. This machine has sat for quite some time. I'd assume the gas is basically min-wax. So let's see if we can get her done. Alright, so I've already shot the machine with a little bit of starting fluid and pulled the cord. It will run on starting fluid, so that tells us we're gonna have to go towards fuel. Let me get this rear cover off here and we'll get to work. Get these couple 8mm off here. So we're in. Let's remove this fuel line and see if we have any fuel even flowing through down to the carburetor. It's a little stiff. There she goes. Yep, well, that is not ideal. And there is not a fuel shut off on this machine that I can see. That tells us we have a fuel delivery issue on top of the carb. But we'll pull that carb off anyway, so let's get this tank off. Looks like to get this tank off, we're gonna have a couple Phillips head bolts, screws, sorry, that is. And we can get our sides pulled back to see there's a couple 8mm. I'm assuming there's gonna be one over here on the top as well. And then I'm assuming these 8mm here go into the tank. Let's get all them out of there. Those guys are going to be 10s, I guess. Got to change it up on us. There, now we can see there's two more 8mm bolts holding this tank on. Let's get them out. There, now the back of our tank's done, we can move it on to the front side. So now that we have the back all deattached and the top of our sides loosened up, you can see there's two more 10 or 8mm bolts holding the front on. We'll get them out and we'll pull this tank off. Something's still holding it here. All right. So there is a fuel shut off on this motor. If you can see down and in here, it's actuated by the on off over here. So if it was my guess, that's plugged right solid with varnished gas. All right, so we'll fight the fuel line off, get this tank out of here, and then we'll try to clean it out. Now that the tank's all fought loose, we can actuate this guy by hand and see that there is a little bit of gas in that tank, but in neither position can we get any of that gas in the bottom of the tank out. So we're gonna have to pull this off and we're gonna have to clean her up. Make sure you don't mix these bolts up. They have sealing washers on them. I can see myself doing that. There, yep. As you can see, that's packed right full of trash. That wasn't gonna flow anything. So I was able to use compressed air and brake clean to get the petcock cleaned out, but the inside of the tank's pretty nasty. So I just threw this back on, shut the fuel off. We're gonna put some gas in the tank, swish it around, see if we can get some of the thick, chunky garbage out of it. So the gas tank, although we got it off and we swished some fresh gas around in it, has to sit in vinegar because it's in pretty rough shape. So we're just gonna assume that the carburetor is nasty just due to what the tank looked like. That being said, if it was ran out of fuel like these Hondas do to themselves, typically you should be fine. But let's get this thing off here. So now with the carb off, just one 10mm to crack the bowl off here. And we'll see what horrors await us. Actually, not bad at all. It's pretty clean in there. So we'll just spray this out with brake clean and put her all back together. So I blew the carb out, cleaned the needle jet, cleaned the main jets. So to clean the main jets, I like to use a torch tip cleaner and brake clean. And then when it's all good, I like to blow through them with my mouth, because that way you can really feel how much air is going through them. You use an air compressor. That's the probably OSHA approved way to do it, but that's no fun. But so next we're going to blow through the gas line with some compressed air to make sure that's free, because if not, we're gonna have to replace that. So you guys watch down here, we'll see what goes on. This is gonna be pretty nasty probably. Nope. Oh, nothing in there. That's good. That explains why our carb was so clean. All right, we'll let that gas tank sit overnight. Hopefully that white vinegar will eat some of that crud away. And we'll come back tomorrow and get this thing reassembled, see if she runs. The tank sat overnight, and I don't know if you guys can see in there, but she came fairly clean. So I think we're gonna call that good and reassemble this tank onto the machine. You know what they say, ain't a real project unless you bleed a little bit.
Come on.
There's the front side on. Let's move to the back. Apparently I lost a bolt. We're gonna have to figure that one out here in a moment, but that's not gonna hinder us from getting it running, and that can go in at the end. You know, Honda could have done way better than Phillips head screws to hold this together. That's a small one. I don't know what they were thinking. Now we'll put our air filter back on. Gonna make sure our choke's lined up here. I did make sure the air filter was present, by the way. It's got the foam element in there. All right, she's together. Let's throw it on the ground, put some gas in it, see what she does. Gotta use a funnel for this stuff. Right now it's like gold. Let that go all the way down. Switch the engine switch to on. Give her a little bit of choke. There it is. There it is. I mean, you can't make that stuff up, guys. 10 years sitting. Yeah, it's a Honda. So thanks for watching. If you like what you've seen, please subscribe. Thank you for watching Mudlick Creek Garage.